show will be starting in just a few moments. Thank you for your patience.
Writing Conference weekend. Wordcrafters is a nonprofit group which provides writers and readers opportunities to strengthen their craft, deepen their connection with literature, and share their knowledge with each other and future generations. Also during this conference, we hosted our first annual Young Writers Contest. And we are really pleased to welcome the finalists. We have 9 young writers here for this event tonight, so we're really happy to have them.
Well, Wordcrafters is not just about a conference. Wordcrafters is a community-wide literary endeavor. For example, 2014 is the 50th anniversary of the publication of Ken Kesey's Sometimes a Great Notion. So we have 6 events surrounding that publication throughout the year. The enormous resource of writers, professional writers in this community who can serve here as teachers. And just because you're a writer doesn't mean you can teach writing. You have to be able to articulate what it is that you do, which is sometimes difficult. But we have an amazing amount of writing teachers here in the community, professional teachers, professional writers who can also teach.
Particularly in fantasy, which is what I write, and in speculative fiction, because you're creating worlds that are imaginary and you have to make them come alive. And readers will not buy into a book or a story if they do not feel entranced with the world that you've created and they do not feel that the world is real. So given that suspension of disbelief that fiction writing mostly requires, when you get into it, you have to have that sense that the world, you have to have a sense of what the world is like. You have to engage the senses of the reader, and they have to feel like they're a part of what's going on so that they can become invested in the characters in the story. There's no end to the number of ways you can skin this cat. Anybody can be a writer, and you can do it for yourself. You can do it with the idea that you would like to be published, but mostly you do it for your own enjoyment. And my advice is that this is something you should have fun with. You should enjoy it. You should find something that speaks to you. You should find something you feel invested in, and you should get it out there. And if you can do that much, you're miles ahead of the game. I think patience is important with yourself, particularly when you're starting out, because you're going to make a lot of false starts. And sometimes it takes a very long time before you write something that's really wonderful. And you don't want to be too hard on yourself in the beginning because it doesn't come to you right away. You have to work at it. And for most of us, it's a lifetime of education.
For the conference, I'm teaching 2 3-hour workshops. So we're going to explore the ideas of ideas in writing, like concrete and abstract, and the use of image, and sort of employ those techniques and write poems about the self, and talk about poetry as it is as performance as well. I think a lot of times people have a hard time writing because they're like, where do I start? I have so much to say, and then they see like the blank piece of paper in front of them, and it's like incredibly daunting because they have so much inside them, just in their voice is like, how do I start? Where do I start? You know, so like my main advice would be like, the words you cut out of your poem are just as equally valuable as the words you keep.